Hi everyone, it's Nancy. I'm back with a new ephemera to make for our Dreaming of Spring document journal. And I'm going to show you how to make the little ephemera holder that can get tucked inside this journal that Marlene from Uniquely Ella made. So let's get started. So take a piece of file folder and you're going to measure it. Let's just make sure here. Measured 4.5. Oh gosh, let me get my other wood. It's hard to see. Let's see. We're gonna this one here. Okay, here I measured like 4 3/4, 4.5 or 4 3/4. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then this measures here just slightly over 10.5. So and then I scored it at about 1 inch. Okay, so I scored it at 1 inch, and then we have a piece like this. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is start covering it. So print out a piece of paper from the collection that you want to use, and let me just get mine here. That I'm going to, and then we're going to need a piece of that vintage doily, and then just one of the pages from the collection, okay? And then we're going to need some brown packing paper. All right, and then I'll tell you what else we'll need after that. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start covering this here. So whatever piece you pick, we're going to cover it, and you're going to trim a little off if you have excess. We're going to glue this on. Now you can glue it and score it and flip it over, or you can tear it with a tear ruler. And then let's just do that. Let me start tearing, making some edges here first. You don't have to do this, but I like the look of it. And then we'll ink those edges. Okay. So, yeah, I haven't been able to get a video done. Let's see. Because I had to go for some jury duty. And then it was a busy weekend, and then, you know, the time just slips away. So I did that a little uneven there. So let me fix that. Well, I can fix it in a second. Let me just see where I want to cut it. Here, about here, hopefully. Okay, like that. I'm just eyeballing it. If you need to measure, you know, go ahead and measure. But I'm just eyeballing this. Just give it a little trim here. Doesn't have to be perfect. And mine, how did I rip an edge like that with a ruler? I don't know. I have no idea, but you know what? It's gonna work. It's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. I like it that way. I'll just leave it that way. Okay, so we're going to use a piece like that for inside. And then let's cut our piece for the outside, the back side here, I should say. So we'll just get another piece cut. So that'll be the back side. So let's quickly ink up some edges here. If you don't ink, then you don't ink. But if you like to, I would say just ink everything up here right now. Because I didn't tear mine very well. I will see some of the folder, so I want to just get some ink on there. So, how's everybody doing? Did you watch Super Bowl? I'm not really into the football, but you know, I actually watched it with my husband. It was a pretty interesting game, even though I don't quite get it all. But yeah, it was nice. They played really nice. They seemed to be, you know, nice to one another. No fights broke out. It was nice that the brothers were, I don't remember their names, but there were brothers, one on each team, and the mom was there, and her jacket was so cute. She had half the jacket was one team, half the jacket was the other team, and I thought that was really fun. It was just fun. Nice. Oh, I don't need to ink. Let's see, what edge are we using on this side? Oh yeah, okay. Did I use? Yeah. Depends what you want to use. I think I'll use that for the inside. Do I want? Let's see. Or maybe that on the outside and this on the inside. Yeah, I think this one I'm going to use on the inside. So I don't need to ink the part that's going to be tucked in here. Okay. Give my crooked edge some ink here. Okay, so that's going to go here. And then on the back, we'll ink real quick around this. And we'll probably have I don't know, a couple more videos. We need to make some quicker ephemera to get on, and just some little snippets and things, little collages to get on the other pages. And then I think we'll be done. So, but this I thought would be perfect for in here. Okay, so we're going to glue this on the inside here. And you can use glue stick. I'm probably going to use wet glue, so I don't have to fool around too much. With the glue stick, but definitely use glue stick. Okay. Let's get that in there. Not a very good gluing lining up day for me here today, is it? Must be the wind. It's very windy here today. Very, very windy. Ah, it's starting to stick already. Look at that. Don't have much playtime here. Okay, there we go. All right, we'll get that on. Okay. So it's going to go in the journal this way. So I have my image there, and then this image will go here on the back. So let's get that on. Okay. See, I like to see a little bit of the file folder. So if you don't, you can just cut it with a cutter and measure and cover it, but I think it gives that vintage look. Okay. All right, very good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take a piece of the vintage doily paper, and we're going to cut a piece to cover this here. Okay. So once again, I eyeball it. And I think, let's see here. Okay, here I go. I'm going to try to cut a straight line again here. Let's see if I can do it. So that'll go there. So let's give that a, and I think I need to rip some of that off on the edge there. Both edges. Let's try that. We're going to glue that on there, and I'll take a little bit off this edge here. Okay. And give it a quick ink. Okay, and then let's get some glue on here. And yeah, I like it like that. That looks pretty. Okay. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some brown paper and edge here. So let me show you. You don't need much. Let me just, maybe I'm going to cut. One edge you want to be rough, and the other edge doesn't have to be. So let me show you. What we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, I can cut this down a little more. It doesn't have to be very wide because you don't want the bulk of it inside the pocket. So just a thin. And let's see how long we need it. Just as long as this. Okay, I'm almost there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue. Okay, we're going to run some glue along the inside here. Sorry about that. And then we're going to take this paper and line it up so we have some over the edge, okay? Like that. And then we can rip that off. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So glue that on there. Okay, not a good gluing day for me here, but there we go. Okay. All right, so you have that. You can always adjust this. Like this might be too much over here for you. So let's just rip some of this off. Okay, not all the way down. Like that, something like that, okay? And then what you're going to do is just curl it over. Just haphazardly. Curl it over. Don't overthink it. You can scrunch it up like so. You don't want it to be totally flat. Curl it with your hands like that. Okay, something like that. And then we're going to give it some ink. Don't play around too much with it, otherwise you'll go crazy. Okay, now what you can do now is either glue these two edges here down, you can stitch them, or staple them, okay, because you're creating a pocket. So I'm just going to glue it for now because I will give it a stitch, but I don't have the capability of having my sewing machine here in front of the camera, so I'm going to glue it for now. And if you do, You can always put a couple of clips there to hold it while it stays shut. Okay, and now the next thing we're going to do is once you have it sewn or glued, I'm going to put a piece of our pretty seam binding, or you can do lace or whatever you want to do, because you know, if you did purchase this beautiful hand-dyed seam binding, I love using it throughout. And so, and it just comes off the roll as is, you know. So if you need to fuss with it, you can fuss with it, but I try not to fuss too much, and then if I don't like what I see, I'll move down and I can put in, if I want some of that pretty tea-dyed color in there, which I think is super pretty. I have no problem cutting the piece I want, and I have all these snippets in a bag to use on ephemera or things like that. So I kind of like that piece of beige tea-dye type thing. Oh, I got fuzzies here. I like that. So, but if you have crochet lace or any other type of ribbon, whatever you want to put on there, cut a length to fit that area. And then what you would do is you can, I would just use fabric tack, but you can use just regular glue and just tack it down there, okay? And I'm not going to do that quite yet because I do want to stitch over there, and then I would glue this on all the way down, okay? And then the only other thing I did was I took a bulb pin with a vintage blue button and a piece of vintage lace, and I put the lace and the button on this bulb pin. And once this is glued on like this, I want to pin this on the seam binding, and just as a decoration. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to pin this bulb pin onto the seam binding that has the vintage button and the lace. So it's going to look like that, okay? Okay, so you know that. So I'm just going to move that to the side now. And so, and then you can always give this a good bone folder press down here so it stays flat, okay? All right, so once you have that sewn, glued, whatever, you have your seam binding on here, the edge, and you have your bulb pin with a vintage button and a piece of lace, okay? All right, so let me put this to the side for now. We're going to fill it now. So I was using different pieces of ephemera from the kits that I have listed. Once again, we have a big picture of this. This is just a picture I got off the internet. You can put in anything you want. So I cut this down. I reduced the size and cut it down and just ink the edges up on this. So I'm going to, that's going to be a piece of ephemera. And then I took one of the photos from Heather's Ruby and Pearl, the flower ladies, just tore around the edges, inked it, and I thought I could put like one of the Tracy labels on it here. And then I have a little, I have some vintage flowers, so I thought we could glue that on. So I'm going to use my glue just to dress up the photo a little. And we're going, like I said, we're going to stuff this little ephemera holder with documents and things that we can, and then we're going to tuck this in. So I'm just going to glue that there, and then I have this cute little flower here, and I'm probably going to use fabric tack for this if I can get it open. Okay, let's see here, and then I can let this dry for a while. So you might have just some silk flowers or a paper flower that you can use. I'm just going to put a dot of this on here to hold the flower, and then it'll dry hopefully by the time we're ready to tuck it in. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that right there. And I'll probably use a clip. Get these clips off and use a clip here. I don't want to smash the flower, but I'll just hold it there for now. So we'll leave that there, okay? All right, and then, so I did print out one of the documents on some, like a, oh, what do you call this? Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart here. This paper, thin parchment-y type paper, tracing paper, okay? Couldn't think of what I wanted to say. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so on, I think these were together, so we're going to put this one aside. So on this one, I thought we could make a tiny little envelope. So I just tore around the edges, uneven. You can ink it if you want. I don't think, I mean, you could run the ink around the edges, but real quick like here. And then we're going to just fold it like this. Okay. And then don't fold all the way down to the crease. Give it a lip here, a little edge like that. And just fold it like that. It doesn't have to be even, okay? And then I thought we could take some staples and just put 2 on each side to hold it closed. So then you have that little pocket here. And then I took another Tracy label, I think. This one's got, it's blue and it has a little flower on it. And I thought we would just glue it halfway on this part, so then leave that part open. And then you can use that as a tuck to keep it closed, okay? So we're just going to put some glue on this side here. And I'm going to put it right there. So then that'll act as a little closure to hold the envelope closed. Okay, so we have that piece done there. And then the next thing I want to do, I took another piece and I inked it, crunched it up, inked it around. So we're going to use that. And also some more of the ephemera. I distressed it, I crunched it up, distressed it. This is part of one of the kits that we used. And then this, I just cut this out and inked around this. And then this is part of where the Ruby and Pearls, the flower ladies, this was part, and all I did was ink that. And then I thought I'd show you, this is just another piece of the ephemera, and this is what I do. I just don't even look what I'm doing. I just grab the paper and I'm going around it like this. Give it a tear here and there, haphazardly, and then just ink it. Give it a good ink all the way around like that. And just don't think about it. Don't think about where you put the tears or anything, and that gives you that. And then the other half of the tissue, this one here, I thought we would just fold in half and leave it as is. And yes, you can give this a little bit inking too. So now with all this ephemera we have ready, I'll show you how I thought we could layer it into the pocket, okay? So take your pocket, and then I think, let's see, we're going to put this here, tuck this in here like that. And then I think the next thing we could do is maybe take this one here and just tuck it down here. We're going to spread it out so you can kind of get a glimpse of a few of these things that are tucked in, okay? Put that one there. And then let's take this one here, tuck it here, and then this one we can tuck in here See, we're just kind of layering it up. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one here, put it in here, and then I'll take this one. If this is too big, we can give it a fold like that. We can tuck this in here like that, and then we can put our little envelope we made, and you can always fill it with, you know, stamps or whatever else you want to put in there. So let's put that in there so we can see it. And then our last two pieces would be the prettiest. So let's put the flower here, maybe. Yeah, the flower. And then this one here. I didn't think of putting that over there. That would have probably been a better idea to move this over. So, but you know what? I'll just tuck it in this way. So we can tuck that in there. I don't like it upside down though, and I don't want to fold it. So maybe I'll move this one down because I still like to see that label. You can move that down. And then we can put this here. And then you can either tuck that in. I would probably glue it on this side so you can, you know, have the flower sticking out, or you can just leave it kind of tucked like that. Let's see, maybe I think I like this up here. I do like to see this big pop of blue here. And then we'll move that down here. And then remember, you're going to have this glued on here on the edge like that. Try to get it in frame here so you could see it. And then take a ball pin with a piece of vintage doily or lace. If you have a vintage button, pin it to the top of that. And then what we're going to do is, I thought it would be really good to just tuck this ephemera holder inside the middle here. And then you have all these little pages to tuck away or make things with, okay? So that is our project for today. And I will be back. We're going to make some more ephemera. So I hope you like this project. Let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and have a blessed day. Take care. Bye, girls.